All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only podcast where we're running through every single team in the league, every single team, even your garbage fucking 7-28 San Antonio Spurs, even the Blazers, even everybody. We're running through all of them. We're running through the highest highs, the lowest lows, and a new update for you guys this week. It's the first week. If you have ever looked at me and Pablo and been like, damn, I have got to give these guys money. The second episode this week is gonna be on Patreon. We're running through the East for the free episode this week. We're gonna talk about Terry Rozier. I know everybody's salivating over that. We're gonna talk about Doc Rivers, and then for the Western Conference, we're gonna record that after the Nuggets Sixers game tonight, maybe in a couple days, and that is going to go up on our Patreon. It's $5. We will love you a bunch. We're gonna do extra perks. There'll probably be some shit like a Discord. I don't have it all written down next to me, but if you want to support us, that's the perfect fucking way to do it. So please, 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 I'm begging you for money online. Please do that. Pablo, how you doing today?
Please sign up, guys. Please. Get me out of my car. Free Pablo. What a blast. Listen, sorry guys, but yeah.
We need money. I mean, I it's not like I don't fuck with you guys. It's just that money is a tangible thing in this world, and unless you want to
You
organize
guys heard
around
about
us,
Sports Illustrated.
we both got laid off. We were both working there before, yeah, of two big Sports Illustrated journalists here. So that's patreon.com/state of the league if you guys are interested. Cracking off the top of the East, the Boston Celtics. Who else? They've been there the entire time. They're 3-1 in their last 4 games. The one loss is the big fancy home loss to Denver. They beat the dog shit out of the Heat in Terry Rozier's debut game. And if he's going to light them up in the playoffs, it was definitely a secret in this game. And then they also have 2 single-digit wins over the Rockets and Mavs. Do you have any big thoughts on the Celtics right now?
No, not really at all. They're basically in the same place they have been all year long. Porzingis had that injury scare. They had a moment where they faced their mortality, where he was like landing on someone else's foot, and they're like, "No, it's all come crashing down." But I think he's okay. Joe Mazzulla calls Porzingis and Jaylen Brown cookies and cream. That's all I got for them.
Wow, thanks, Joe Mazzulla. That's almost as I don't know that one just like feels weird to me when I sit down and think about it. I'm like, okay, it's because I wanted to be like that's almost as bad as LeBron like doing the Karate Kid bow to Rui Hachimura in their handshake, and ostensibly cookies and cream. That's just like an extension of Ebony and Ivory or something. I can get down with that. That's fine, but yeah. I don't know.
Which was around first, cookies and cream or Oreo? Did Oreo invent cookies and cream or no?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. I'm a big Oreos guy. Oreos. You could sponsor us if you want. Oreos. Shout out to them. Because it feels like nobody would think to be putting like that chocolate graham crackery type wafer into ice cream before Oreos kind of drop that knowledge on people.
That was game changing. Oh man, I wonder where they were selling first. We got to subscribe to the Patreon for a deep dive on the history of Oreos.
I mean, yeah, like now I want to Google it. I'm just gonna do it. Oreos when invented.
I wonder if they're like a World's Fair thing. Like, the Chicago
okay.
World's Fair.
They were invented. The Oreo biscuit first developed and produced by Nabisco in 1912.
Okay.
It was closer to like a big ice cream sandwich back then. I don't think they really had shelf stable cream to put in between cookies in 1912, but I would still love to try it. I'm on board for any Oreo. I'm rocking with Oreos. And the Boston Celtics, I'm rocking with them too. The big bullet point I had this week is just that like this doesn't feel like we've learned anything new about the team since the Denver game. The Porzingis ankle thing was pretty scary, but like beyond that, yeah, none of these teams are as good as the Celtics. They beat all the teams they're supposed to beat. That's kind of the shit that they've been on all season.
Yeah, they're just waiting for June.
Yes. And speaking of people who are waiting for June and will definitely make it to June with this coaching staff, the Milwaukee Bucks have shaken shit up. Adrian Griffin, get your bum ass out of here. I know Giannis specifically wanted to hire you. He's mad now. He's a fickle guy. He's big and he's angry. And he doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to shake your hand on the bench. He wants to shake Doc Rivers' hands. The Bucks, they fired Adrian Griffin like after two pretty tight losses or two tight wins to the Pistons, I should say. And then 12 hours later, Doc Rivers was hired at the head coach position. He had been like a consultant for them for a couple weeks at this point, I believe. And so now he's just like officially the coach. I don't like this hire. It feels like a step forward, but it doesn't feel like a full tier of difference in terms of like the team ceiling. How are you feeling about the Bucks right now?
I hate it. Like everybody else, I hate it. There's no reason. I don't understand how this guy is not only getting another chance, getting treated as if like this is bringing in a star coach. He's 40 million for 3.5 years. It's insane. I when I found out about the consulting part, I was like, oh my God. So Adrian Griffin knew that this is probably going to happen. Like, if you're a new coach and they're like, hey, by the way, you have to meet with this other established coach and talk to him about basketball. He's going to tell you what you're doing wrong. You got to do that for us. You have to know, like, okay, yeah. So why did they even hire me if they're going to do this? It's like when David Blatt was with the Cavs and they hired Ty Lue, like if you don't get to pick the assistant coach and they're like, yeah, you have to have this guy on the bench, then I'm always like, okay, you're done for. They're just, but I don't know why they do that, because then they have to pay your coaching salary. But I don't know. I wonder if it's ever worked out in the history of basketball where they hire the new guy, they force them to hire an assistant, and then that maybe things end up going great and they don't fire him. But yeah, I'm not into the Doc move. As Blake Griffin has told us, not great with adjustments. Kind of been a thing with Doc Rivers. Not at the top of the game tactically. So when he's going up against the minds of Eric Spoelstra, of Nick Nurse, of maybe Joe Mazzulla, you're not super confident. But he's a personality management guy, except everyone hates him. All the stars he's ever coached hate him. He trashes people publicly all the time. I guess, well, mostly when they're done playing for him, but even when they're still playing for him, he can say some bad things
Pretty
that you don't want
hurtful
to hear.
stuff. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Ben Simmons. That's a fun throwback. I feel
Oh man.
kind of gets lost in the whitewater current that it like the torrential downpour of shortcomings that is Doc Rivers' career. Is just the fact that like he was up in the post game press conference just being like, yeah, Ben was not great. I know that this is like a team loss, and I know I didn't do my job either, but he for damn sure didn't do his job. Jesus Christ, did you see that guy? And so yeah, I don't know. Part of me is like the only zag I could possibly think of to public opinion here is the fact that Rivers is probably a step up in terms of like regular season floor raising for this team. And I feel like they might be in a better position if they had just started the season with him. And you probably don't get Giannis to sign the extension if you make that decision. So like I'm probably still on board with signing Griffin if it means Giannis signs that extension. But I think Rivers is a better regular season coach than Griffin. It's just that, like, yeah, when you get into any matchup, even like the fact that I have to think about it with Joe Mazzulla as the matchup, I'm like, who would I rather have? That's such a damning condemnation to like a guy who's been coaching professionally for since like 1994 or so. It's like a crazy long run that he's had as like a in some form of being an NBA coach, whether it's an assistant or a head coach. And the whole time he's just like, what have you learned, bro? How are we doing the same shit fucking 20 years later? That does not make it 30 years later now. It's 2024. Oh my God. Yeah. So I don't know. Beyond that, as far as like the Bucks' actual basketball play, the game that stuck out to me was their loss to the Cavs, who have been playing really good basketball lately. Giannis only took 13 shots. Dame had 22 on 7 of 24 shooting. And my only take, I don't really like that approach to offense for them. I think Giannis should be the guy with 30 shots and him collapsing the defense. It's a lot more reliable. It's pretty much always going to be there. And then once the defense is kind of like flooding towards the rim, trying to stop him, then you can kind of play outwards off of that and get Dame more involved. I don't think having Dame try and open up the defense for Giannis reversely, I don't like that approach. So yeah, that was my big take. The Cavs also fucking rock. They're a really good defense lately, so it's not like the worst loss in the world or anything.
Yeah, the only I don't really know what Doc Rivers is going to come in and change immediately, because like they already changed. Griffin wanted to be super aggressive with the defensive scheme, and then they were like, "Hey, let's go back to dropping back Brook Lopez and dealing with things that way." Giannis has come out and said, "We don't have any mission." Like for many years, the Bucks. What did they concede? Did they concede threes, or did they concede mid-range shots? There was, I think they might have allowed more threes. Crap, I should have double checked.
Threes sounds right, just off the top, because like you have Drew out there, but then pretty much everyone else is like focused on interior, inside the arc defense. At least like Middleton was a solid isolation wing defender type guy, but in terms of guys who are like flying out and really contesting 3-pointers, that's not what I mentally associate the Bucks with. At least I associate them with like just smothering rim protection between Lopez and Giannis's help side shit a lot.
Yeah, for many years they had a very specific identity, where they're like, we're always going to let these types of shots in. And I guess this year under Griffin, Giannis is like, we're letting shots in from everywhere. He's like, you have to pick up something. You have to concede something. Like, you're not going to be able to cover everything. You have to concede an area of the floor. So we'll see how Doc Rivers runs the defense. I would assume they probably just keep things the same. But and then offensively, I think you got to run more Dame and Giannis pick and roll. That was the whole thing that everyone was excited about. And I think it's good, but they just don't do it that much, or Adrian Griffin didn't do it that much. So,
yeah. Like,
so yeah,
I don't know.
That'll be it.
I was just going to say, like, the Dame and Giannis pick and roll to me, if you're like flipping through games and you throw on a Bucks game for 15 minutes, you should see that pick and roll 2 or 3 times. And it just has like, that's not been the case this season. And when you get into the postseason, and that's one thing I think Doc Rivers, if he just fucking spams that all year, that will help with at the bare minimum, is just like having them ready to run that pick and roll as much as they possibly can in the postseason. And like, that's the foundation on which they're going to generate offense in like a tough half court setting when the game slows down situation. And yeah, I don't know. I fear the man who's practiced 10,000 kicks. That's the kick you should be practicing, bro. Adrian Griffin's got him practicing all this bullshit, and you just need to be kicking a and so yeah, Milwaukee, I don't know. Doc Rivers, obviously some ceiling questions, but I don't know. There's not that many good coaches available in January either, so you're kind of oh shit, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. You're all right. Yeah, there's just not that many good coaches available in January. Super hot take from the State of the League podcast. Cutting edge analysis, ladies and
Mike
gentlemen.
D'Antoni's out there. He won't fix your defense, but hey, maybe he'll hire someone to come in and do it.
It's funny to imagine like the front office being like, all right, we have who's left? Who's out there? We just fired Budenholzer. We made Terry Stotts so angry and embarrassed that he walked out before the season started. and then this guy who like has just, I mean, the most established playoff dropper in if not NBA history, the last 20 years at the bare minimum. He just has not been able to elevate a variety of talented teams, and they're like, all right, I guess that's the guy we got to go with. I'm not calling Mike Budenholzer again, so let's go Doc. Woohoo!
D'Antoni's a fraud. He couldn't beat the greatest basketball team ever assembled with the Warriors, and he couldn't beat Kobe Lakers and Duncan Spurs. So the fraud.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing stuff, Michael. All right. Moving on to not fraud coaches. Nick Nurse, legit. He's
Giannis didn't want him. Why did Giannis not want him so hard? Like who was he getting information from? Why was he like, I'm not playing for Nick Nurse? Why? What was the concern?
I don't know. Maybe there's just like a lot of maybe there's like a big international player group chat, and all the international guys up in Toronto. OG's like, no, he doesn't let me like dribble as much as I want to. And Siakam's like, no, he doesn't let me do 30 post-ups a game. You don't want this guy. It's just no, he's not going to work out for you. So yeah, he's been really good in Philadelphia, though. Philly is 3-1 in their last 4. Obviously, the big story right now is Embiid going for 70 points against the San Antonio Spurs. There was a weird loss to the Pacers after that, and I really have no idea what to make of the Pacers. They just have like random good defensive games at this point, so I'm just going to focus on the 70 points. That's really cool. Good job, Joel Embiid. One of the greatest scoring seasons we've ever seen. One of the greatest scoring games we've ever seen. There's not really like a fraud angle you can take with 70 points. That's like you look around online, people are trying to discredit it. It's difficult. He's really, really good. What do you think about the Sixers?
I have one fraud angle. He was sweating so much during that game, like at the free throw line, dripping. How are you supposed to guard somebody that moist, that wet? Like he's literally he's essentially a water Logia at that point. I don't know how you even touch him. So add that on top of today's weak defensive rules that you already can't touch guys. What are you supposed to do? The guy's basically water. So that's why in an era like in the if there was no air conditioning, would he be more sweaty or less sweaty?
Oh, he'd be more 100% more sweaty. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So now my take is flipped. Now my take is this would have been 100-point game in 1980 because without the AC, there's nothing slowing him down. So Jesus, man, Embiid is great.
Yeah, where LeBron's cramps because San Antonio shut the air conditioning off. It's not happening to Embiid. You're just making him stronger.
Everyone would drown if they did that.
Oh my God! Tragedy at the Alamo Dome as 40,000 people drowned at Game 5 of the NBA Finals because Embiid was so sweaty that he filled up the whole building. Oh my God. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. The jump shooting to me is just like what I wrote down. I was like, wow, that's the thing. People are like, this has to translate into the postseason. I feel like that's the thing that hasn't translated into the postseason in previous years. And this year it seems that he's doing it at a higher level than ever, just in terms of like being automatic from the 12-foot free throw line area, both elbows. If that like all of the other shit, he's still quick in the postseason, even though he's had a variety of injuries. He moves very well. He's fluid. He's a great defender. He can get to the line, probably not. I don't know. He doesn't get entire teams in foul trouble in the same way in the postseason. But yeah, if the jump shooting continues, that's like I feel like that's where we will see kind of a maintaining of this level of production for Embiid, and that's what I hope to see. I know I come across as a hater, especially if you give me the Twitter follow. I'm quick. I got a quick trigger on there. But Embiid's really good, and I hope he does do good in this postseason.
Yeah, I think I feel like the turnovers come with dribbling. I feel like that's his main obstacle. Not that he's necessarily bad at it, but just like as soon as he dribbles, they're like, okay, this is a vulnerability. Let's swarm and attack. And so
yeah,
dribbling and passing is like the weak point. But I mean, maybe if I'm him, maybe you just stop doing that. Maybe you just stand still,
Stand
take your
still. Just
time.
shoot it
Yeah,
over the guys. Nobody's as big as. Yeah, I don't know. When you look back to last year, even the Nets series, I think he got hurt in like game 3 is when he tweaked his knee or whatever. But even the first 2 games, he did not look super effective offensively in that series. This version of Embiid seems like he would shred that team just in terms of, you are right, like he would dribble and like they would send a triple or whatever, and he would pick it up, and he was really bad at decision making in that series. And now, like, it's a very easy read just to the open shooter or the guy who's capable of making the extra pass to the open shooter. And I think he'd be a lot more willing. I mean, he's averaging 6 whatever assists this season. He's definitely upgraded that part of his game, and it's going to make him a lot more difficult to stop in the postseason. So yeah, shout out Embiid, shout out Nick Nurse, shout out Philly, shout out the whole city. Who is the next seed? Oh shit, it's the Cavs. The Cavs are on an absolute tear. 3-1 in their last 4, 9-1 in their last 10. It's weird. If you told me this Cavs team was gaining the aggregate talent of Evan Mobley and Darius Garland on top of the level of basketball they're already playing, I'd be like, oh, that's like a legit conference finals threat team. Like, these guys are playing so well. If you just told me they're getting 2 really talented guys back, but when you tell me it's Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, that doesn't move me in the same way. I'm more concerned about, like, is this level of play? Are we going to keep doing this when they come back, or is there just going to be a lot of skill overlap that leads to a lot of weird front office questions? What do you think about Cleveland right now?
yeah. It's hard to ignore that Jarrett Allen is like playing out of his mind again. He looks like peak prime Jarrett Allen again, and it's like they feel like they're the new Sabonis and Turner from Indiana, where everyone's like, okay, both of these guys are really good, but for whatever reason, them together, not quite it. Um, and so having the two non-shooting bigs is yeah, a little limiting. But now that it's just Jarrett Allen, they're using him a ton as a playmaker and lob threat and stuff like that. And defensively, he's been amazing. And so they're playing my boy Sam Merrill 43% on 6 attempts per game. Donovan Mitchell is going bonkers. He's like, man, guys, I'm back to prime Donovan Mitchell. So I I'm interested. I'm really interested to see if this continues when Garland and Mobley come back. Because if there's immediately like a drop off again, then I wonder if you do have questions to ask about like what would be what are moves that could be made. But then you also have to balance. Well, Donovan Mitchell doesn't want to be here, but we're winning with Donovan Mitchell when he's here on his own. So what if we're like, no, please stay. We'll get other guys around you. So I don't know. They're in a weird spot because they had I loved them last year. They had so much momentum going into the playoffs, but then the Knicks series kind of killed off all optimism, and I feel like everyone has been at their funeral for like up until this past month. Everyone's been at their funeral and everyone's like, yeah, not gonna work out. This team, yeah. But now all of a sudden everyone's like, wait a second, this team's awesome. They were awesome defensively last year. They were awesome this year. Donovan Mitchell's still really good. So I don't know what to think about them. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting comparison. It's insane that Jared Allen is only 25 years old right off the bat. Like the fact he's definitely in that Steven Adams tier where he's just been around on teams that have been in the spotlight for forever between like the fun D'Lo, him, who the hell was the Elmer Fudd lookalike in Brooklyn? Jared Dudley.
Oh,
That team, between that and this Cavs team and all that, he's just been around forever, and he's been so solid and so dependable. And it's an interesting comparison between him and Evan Mobley, and the idea of like potential versus tangible production, because I do agree that Evan Mobley's ceiling, like the apex of what he could become, it's better than what Jared Allen is right now. I think there's a couple of different things that he can do at a higher, or he should be able to do at a higher level than Jared Allen can right now. But in like, will he hit that? And like, what is the percent chance that he becomes better than Jared Allen is right now? And if you had to pick between them, if you're the Cavs front office, do you kind of roll with that potential of Mobley? Or if it means you can hold on to Donovan Mitchell and kind of build around these two and maybe add some talent around them via moving Mobley and Garland, do you do that? That's like a very, very difficult question to answer. I haven't put a ton of thought into it. I don't know what I would do, but I'm glad that I'm not in the front office making those decisions. But right now, they're playing fucking great, so who cares? I think we're assuming that a lot is going to go wrong. It could go right. It could just like still rock when Mobley and Garland come back.
Shout out Sam Merrill. They should have got him. Have they announced 3-point contest yet? I don't know if they have, but if they do, he has to be there.
I know Sabrina Ionescu. Yeah. She's going against Steph Curry in the 3-point contest. So I'm sure everybody will be super positive about that, and there will be no negativity or misogyny of any kind. And I definitely haven't seen people spamming same size ball. Oh, she's using the same size ball. I haven't seen those comments at all. So shout out to you guys. You are really nice and good. Moving on.
They're both carrying the entire weight of their gender on their back. Whoever loses that night, it's just gonna be, oh my god, it's gonna be World War IV.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it. I thrive off toxicity, so we'll be good to go over here. Speaking of toxic environments, although not really, I don't know. Being in a Tibbs locker room sounds like it has the potential to be toxic. I don't think it's toxic right now. The Knicks are running the motherfucking league with OG Anunoby. They're 4-0 in their last 4. They just beat the brakes off the Nuggets at the end of a long road trip for Denver. That's just me coping. The Nuggets definitely should have had a chance to win this game, and they just like Jokic played fine. Everybody else, they got the New York treatment. Jackson Frank, friend of the pod, he had a great tweet where he was like, all their role players beat you with hammers, and then their star players also beat you with hammers on offense. And I think that's a really good way of describing this team. They're extremely gritty. It feels like we let Tibbs collect like an infinity stone of players that fit his play style, between like Hart, DiVincenzo, OG, Brunson, Hartenstein. It's just like, how's there so much grit on one team? How are you feeling about the Knicks right now?
This is like the best. This is like the Knicks fans. You guys got to soak it in right now. I feel like this is the best it's gonna be. They are not losing at all. They're putting up these crazy numbers. Tibbs is walking into press conferences laughing. He's like, ha, ha, ha. It's like the most evil, menacing thing ever. Everything is going their way. They have Candace Parker saying Jalen Brunson was bad in the second round, and then they get to say, oh, 30.6 assists, whatever, on 60% true shooting. That's bad. The world is against us. The entire media world is against the New York Knicks, of course. They're all rooting for us to fail. This is like peak for them. They are very, very good. I don't want to rain on the parade. I was thinking about this.
I'll rain. I don't care.
I would feel so much better about them if Mitchell Robinson was coming back this year, but he's not. But yeah, ultimately they're playing really good right now. I still don't have them in that tier with the Sixers and with the Celtics. And wait, who's in the third seed? Who am I forget? Oh, the Bucks.
Bucks, Sixers, Celtics are top 3.
Yeah, I still think those 3 teams, just by virtue of their stars, are on a level above. But right now, the Knicks are performing at that level. So maybe they'll put me in my place.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that, because Mitchell, like, if you could get Hartenstein's production off the bench with Mitchell Robinson starting, because I like Mitchell Robinson more as a defensive anchor, even though Hartenstein is he's like surpassed what I thought he could be on that end. Like he's blown my expectations out of the water. He's been really good, but I agree with you that the star power of the other teams, the Knicks, don't necessarily have the depth to make up for that, and it does suck because. Oh man, I don't want Julius Randle's played fine. He's played fine. He's played really good lately. But when you kind of look at the construction of the team and you're like, okay, what position could we make one direct upgrade to right now that would kind of like take us from high tier B to low mid tier A team? It's like getting a superstar in the front court or wherever you want to that can allow Jalen Brunson to kind of slot to being the second man. Everybody stays producing where they are in the offensive depth chart, but you just have a guy who's like one of the best players on the planet spearheading your attack. Yeah, that's I think they have the framework in place for that to be a team that would be kind of intimidating in the East. But right now, can Randall maintain into the postseason? I don't think that's an unfair question to ask. And even if he does, I feel like that kind of just puts you on par with a lot of other teams. Like right now, would I take the Knicks in a series over the Heat? I don't know. They have been kind of mid recently, but I still don't know. I don't know if I would. Would I take them in a series over the Pacers? Probably, but it's not like a lock or anything. And would I take them in a series over any of the top 3 seats that we already talked about? Probably not, barring like another Embiid collapse, or I mean, maybe like Dame just lets Brunson average 50. There's a lot of questions. The Knicks are just in that tier of being really good but not great, where those questions are still pretty valid. And I don't want to hate on you. I'm part of the media. I'm not against you guys, but Julius Randle's fallen off in the past, and so these are questions. Shout out to Brunson though, for real. Were you shocked by the Damian Lillard All-Star starter news?
Oh, you know what? I really spent very little time thinking about it up until I saw the news, and then once I saw people saying that, it is surprising, like that Brunson statistically like has a case, and he's supposed to have the greatest fans in the world. Knicks fans, he's slacked. Supposed to have that backing, but they couldn't get him over. Like, and Lillard is supposed to be a guy who was torching his reputation all summer long. Like everyone's like, we hate this guy now. What happened to loyalty? Portland turned on him or whatever. And I know like the Bucks. I'm sure the Bucks have a lot of loyal fans, but like the Bucks are a team where when the Bulls go and play there, when the Bulls are good and they go and play there, like there's more Bulls fans than Bucks fans. But well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we haven't really been good during the Giannis era, but still, like they're not a team I normally associate with like the absolute top of the NBA, like in terms of fanatics and stuff like that. So I was a little surprised to see that Lillard beat out Brunson. But the New York Knicks, you got to get on your you got to study the K-pop fans. They got Wiggins into the All-Star game. You guys can't get your own.
Yeah, that was a big letdown as far as like the mecca of basketball goes. Do you guys not have fucking computers? What's going on? Just vote. Like it's not. Although I say that I probably voted for All Stars like 3 total times. I would just like randomly see a tweet and be like, "Oh, I'll vote today," and the whole time I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever voted. Wait, you can do it on Twitter.
I liked that a lot more. They did one year where it was like, if a tweet had like a player's name and hashtag NBA All-Star vote and you retweeted it, that would count as a vote for the player. And I don't know how the hell they counted all that. That's insane, but I didn't mind that system because it made it pretty accessible. You count the occurrence of the hashtag, my producer is telling me. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't mind that system. Now you have to have like an NBA ID and log in. And that doesn't sound very cool. That sounds a lot more Milwaukee than New York. So yeah, I guess it's not that surprising. Maybe
that's
really
that's the only way to vote. You need an NBA ID and log on to the site to vote. Is that it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like you can't just like. That's why I didn't vote more because like it's not like some big thing. If I'm like doing the Wordle or whatever. I could just pop over if it's easy like that, but they make it, there's a little bit of a barrier to entry there. My phone won't remember my login, guys. Make it
They
easier,
gotta be.
please.
They gotta. They're probably lying about the numbers, right? Has there been a severe drop off in the voting? There's no way they can go from Twitter retweets to NBA.com sign in and not have a severe drop off. Or is the NBA credible with their numbers? Has there been a noticeable drop? Because someone needs to get in on this, investigate it. Who's going to investigate it? LA Times laid off everybody. Oh no!
Oh fuck! Sports Illustrated. All right, we gotta get Mark Ruffalo and Spotlight up here, and they're gonna do an investigative thing on NBA's All-Star voting. I like that. It's a pressing issue in today's times. Maybe the most pressing issue. All right. After the Knicks, we're heading down to South Beach for the Mid-Ami Heat. They traded for Terry Rozier just to lose weird games. Right off the bat, what do you think about the Terry Rozier trade? How do you feel?
I think for sure it's a W for them. I think he'll come in handy during the playoffs. Just another guy who can cook. Another cook in the kitchen.
That is such a funny way. Can't have too many of them. That's how the saying goes. Just one more cook in the kitchen.
That's what the Bear shows us, is that everyone loves getting in each other's space.
Yeah. That's what the Bear's all about. When the guy gets locked in the freezer, everything falls apart. It definitely doesn't go super smoothly because this giant fucking psycho isn't running around the kitchen anymore. That's the moral. It's be mean to your coworkers.
Get the fuck on my expo, chef. I want another shot creator on my expo helping me out. That's the type of thing we're having.
Man, you can't have Jaime. Fuck off. That was I guess another question was if you could do this, or you could if you could get Dame for like the general reported package. I don't remember what it was. I think Jaime was in it. Would you rather have Dame, or to me, this is like Terry Rozier? You're getting him for a first round pick. Essentially, you're like dumping Lowry's salary, and for a first round pick, you are directly upgrading from Lowry on both ends of the floor. So would you rather have that, or would you rather have Dame? This would have been an insane question 8 months ago, but right now it's kind of in a weird spot. So I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I know I saw Bill Simmons say this too. He's like, hey, I don't know, Terry Rozier. What did he say? He said Terry Rozier's 80% of Dame on offense, and then
that's too much. He went too far. I saw that.
He's like, he also is better on defense and playmaking. I'm like, if that was the case, I feel like we'd be a lot more excited about Terry Rozier. But yeah, I would, if I'm them, I would probably still have rather done the Dame trade, because I think it gives you a more dynamic ceiling come playoff time. Like as good as Jaime is, I think we probably should remember, like, this was a 4-year college player. I think he was 4 years, right? At least 3. I think 4. Like, these guys are supposed to be good coming in year 1, so it's not like a given that he's just going to keep on going up from here. Like Chris Duarte came in the league and super old and was like the best rookie for a little bit.
Malcolm Brogdon, that's another one.
Yeah, like it's normal for the older guys to come in and be really good. So not to discount Jaime's credit, because he's a good player right now, and it's valuable for them to have, assuming he can carry this on into the playoffs. It's valuable for them to have that. But if I'm them, I still probably would have wanted to do the Dame move. But right now they're just the very typical Miami Heat still. Some of the faces have changed, but like, here we are in January. They're on a 5-game losing streak. Everyone's like, oh my God, they're done for. They're done for. It's not gonna happen this year. Jimmy Butler, stop taking shots. Even though he's super efficient doing this, but he stopped taking shots. They're losing. They don't care about January, so that means they must not care when it comes to the playoffs. Yeah, guys, learn a lesson for once in your life. We gotta read the history books, guys.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're doomed to do different shit. That's how the saying goes. It's gonna change this time. They're really dead in February this time, guys. There's no coming back from this one. Yeah, I'm on board. I don't know. I feel like the Jaime shit about him being 4 years in college almost doesn't get talked about enough. And like this is the real hater in me because he is only 22 and like he has been really good. Like he's straight up a very good rookie, but simultaneously people are like, "Oh my god, like this rookie class, Wemby, Chet, Jaime." And I'm like, "That is two different those are two different tiers. Like this is like a role player versus a young star situation." And maybe I look like a fucking moron in 4 years. Maybe he does just have like exponential growth within
Maybe
him.
he's the actual next Jimmy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But most of the time, yeah, it's like a Jason Tatum, Kyle Kuzma graphic where, oh shit,
Yeah,
Kuzma
who
killed
was
at
way
Utah for
older.
a while. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's going to be a good rookie. And then Kuzma rocks. Now I'm getting the death stare from my producer, big Wizards fan over there. I like Kuzma. He's good. I'm just saying comparing him to Tatum was maybe a little bit much, but that's Lakers fans for you. Yeah, I like
That
Jaime
draft
though.
was so sick though that they made with
Yeah,
the
it's like
bars.
it's like batteries, and it's like shooting, and they're both like 34% from three, and you're just like okay, cool. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Rookie Kuzma was fun, though. I will say that. Because I didn't know his name. I wasn't paying attention to shit back then. So he just kind of exploded out of nowhere. And you're like, whoa, 17 is a rookie. That's pretty good. All right. Miami Heat. Oh, by the way, 0-4 in their last four. I don't have a single thing written down about any of those games. That's how much I didn't tune into the Heat this week. I'm sorry, guys. The Pacers, though. Pacers 2-2 in their last four, 500 basketball, back-to-back wins with Siakam, no Halliburton. Pretty impressive opponents too. Was Philadelphia with Embiid, and then Phoenix, who had won 7 straight games. They overcome 62 from fraud Booker to win the game. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Indiana right now?
The Siakam trade is very cool. He's averaging 28-6 on 54, 38, 65 shooting. Why is he not making free throws? What's going on in Indianapolis? 59% true shooting as a Pacer, so he's playing pretty well. I think it's going to work out because he said during the game here, or he said in the post game or at halftime, I think probably post game, he said, "I want to make this home." So unless this is a Kyrie Irving situation, looks like they got Pascal locked up, so the trade is a W.
That's so funny that Kyrie did that. That he said, I literally verbatim, "I will resign if you guys will have me," and then he's fucking gone like 5 months later. That's so funny.
Yeah, the All-Star Weekend is gonna be in Indianapolis. So here's the thing, if I'm Jalen Brunson, maybe I'm calling up the coaches and I'm saying, don't include me in the All-Star reserves. I don't want to come this year. If I'm any NBA All-Star, I'm like, don't call me up. I don't want to come this year. If I have the chance between going to Mexico or going to anywhere, Europe somewhere, vacation for a few days instead of Indianapolis, the hellscape, the worst city on earth, I'm just gonna take it.
I was gonna
Gross,
ask about
disgusting.
this. I've never personally been to Indianapolis. What's the beef with Indianapolis on the State of the League pod? It's just shit. It's just a shit city.
It's just urban sprawl. It's just there's it's just all roads and parking lots. It's the worst roads I've ever driven on. There's potholes everywhere. They don't care. It's just a bland gray city. It's hot in the summers. It's cold in the winters. The only plus side is that they're basically in the central time zone, but they're Eastern time. So they have like a whole extra hour of sunlight. But yeah, I don't know. It's the restaurant scene outside of Yats. Shout out to Yats. It's not the best. It's just a depressing place to be. I hate Indianapolis. But shout out to everyone who lives in Indianapolis. It's probably more fun if you grew up there. I didn't grow up there. and so I'm not attached to it, so I see it for the hellscape, disgusting place that it is. But it's cool for them that it's there, and Halliburton is a starter. What a blast!
Yeah, that is cool. I was thinking about that because we're gonna get to Atlanta later, and there's Trey was like not even an all-star when it was in Atlanta, and that's very funny. I don't know. The big thing that stuck out to me about the past couple games, the wins with Siakam and no Halliburton, I called it Moneyball-esque here, where no Halliburton, they have a lot of like capable creators that they just like spread his touches out amongst and kind of recreate his impact in the totality of the game. And this fails almost nearly as often as it succeeds. But when it succeeds, it's cool. It's like, whoa, this team's got TJ McConnell's fucking cooking right now. Nemhard, oh my god. And so yeah, they're fun. They have a lot of depth. And Halliburton does fucking rock. One thing I saw that it made me curious. Halliburton obviously hurt his hamstring in a very scary fall. And do you think he might be like pushing back, trying to hit that 65 game mark? Because he has a lot of money on the table for being named like an all NBA player. And if he doesn't hit 65 games, he's not eligible for that. And so I think I wouldn't mind not having a games minimum for contract incentives. I don't know. That's just something that I thought was pretty interesting when I read it online, because yeah, if he's like rushing back, he played that one game against it might have been Phoenix, I don't remember, but he missed 5, he played 1, and he's missed 4 since then. It seemed like he came back a little bit too soon. And so yeah, I don't know. No games minimum for contract incentives. How do you feel?
Yeah, I don't know for contract incentives. Wait, so what exactly is the incentive that he has?
If you get selected, whenever his extension is up, if you've been like an all NBA player, you're eligible for a lot more. That's how you get like the super max whatever extension.
All star. Oh, so you're saying for all NBA? So he wants the Jaylen Brown money.
Yes, he wants that Jaylen Brown money. Who doesn't? You know.
That is interesting. That could absolutely be a dynamic. I also think he's probably like take him off this team, and they're kind of in dire straits. Like even with Siakam, it's a huge hole to replace that kind of production. So it's probably a mixture of both. It's probably like, okay, I'm already getting the bag, but I need to go all out, and then on top of that, it's like, hey, this team's kind of built around me getting 13 assists a game and not turning it over ever, and shooting 40% from 3 and being really good. And what seed they're the 6th seed now, so it's probably a mixture of that. It's probably competitive and money.
And he just doesn't want to fucking stay. Like, he doesn't want to have any more silly fits on the sidelines. Against Denver, he had like a Peaky Blinders fit on. He got roasted. Tyrese, you can't wear the Newsies caps unless you're an old man. I'm sorry, no one's ever pulled it off. Tommy Shelby did, but he was in like
Shelby.
Tommy fucking Shelby. No one was gonna tell him how to dress, but he wasn't subjected to the opinions of the internet. And unfortunately, you are Tyrese, so maybe just cool it with that.
You've seen Peaky Blinders?
Oh yeah, I've seen Peaky Blinders.
That's what Indianapolis looks like.
He just said Indianapolis looks like Peaky Blinders. That's so fucking funny. Sorry, Indianapolis. Yeah. But if you do really look like that, that's not good. You guys should probably move away, even if we're just talking like air quality. Moving down to the south, a city that I really did not like being in very much at all, Orlando. Shout out to the theme parks. That was super fun. But in terms of like driving around, I was like, holy shit, it takes 30 minutes to get to a gas station here. This is not chill.
Hey, at least it's warm.
They are 1-3 in their last 4, 5-10 in their last 15 losses to the Sixers and Cavs. That's fine. Losses to the Grizzlies, not chill. They beat the Heat by 18 points, which the Florida beef continues for whatever reason. Pablo remains pretty inefficient during this stretch. The offense is really gross. The defense has slipped to 19th ranked in the last 4 games. And then Jalen Suggs hurt his knee. So, like, if he misses considerable time, that's the only backcourt player on this roster that's a reliable 3-point shooter. And so shit
he's
could get
the best defender on this team too.
Yeah, like he feels like he gives this team a lot of its identity just through like Dennis Rodman-esque rebounds over 6'8", 6'9" guys where he's just tapping it to himself 4 times. Yeah. What do you think about the Magic right now?
They are like a direct parallel to the Rockets for me. Like in my mind, they're the same. Where they got off to this super hot start at the beginning of the year, and we're like, "Geez, are the Magic ahead of schedule?" And now, I'm burping. Now they're back down to earth. They're back down to the 8th seed. The offense is the offense is ranked 24th in the NBA. It's just so rough. It's this iteration of this team has taken a step forward. They're fantastic defensively, but they're not really going to do anything this year because Paulo is not where you need him to be to handle the burden that they're putting on him, and the rest of this team is just not very offensively inclined. So it's just they're just not there yet. So if you're a Magic fan, I think this year, it's better than probably any year you've had since Dwight. Have they had anything good in there? I don't think they were going crazy for the Vucevic, Aaron Gordon eighth seed. Maybe game 1 of that era where they like beat Kawhi in Toronto, and like they always seem to win game 1. I think they beat Giannis in game 1, and then they get swept. But yeah, I think if you're a Magic fan, you're happy with where things are. If you're a Magic fan and you're interested in my thoughts on Paolo Banchero, I just posted an hour-long YouTube video with film breaking down Paolo Banchero and what I think about him. So, spoiler alert, I came after I watched a lot of him, I'm a little more optimistic about him.
Whoa.
But still it's murky. So head on over to Hot Tunes TV China NBA to go see watch an hour of it.
Yeah, I can't believe you're more optimistic on the 6'10" guy. Get around like a guard. Fuck. I don't know. Only last thing I have, if you're a Magic fan, you better be scared. You better be shivering because your team is going to trade your best player. Wendell Carter Jr. is swirling in rumors. And since his return from injury in these last 4 games, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 77% true shooting. He's like 45, 50% from 3. If I'm a team, if I'm the Thunder, I don't know. If I need an interior rebounding presence, a big man who he's not Goga. Goga is a better defender, better rim protector, definitely, but he's not like a wash defensively. I'm seeing how much Wendell Carter is worth to these guys because they have a bit of a rotation issue at center. I don't know if either one of those guys is really backup big material. Maybe Goga just because he's not very talented offensively, but damn, Wendell Carter is impressed. I've been a big guy on him since Chicago moved him. I was just like, if the Bulls are done with him, that means he's probably going to be good. So yeah, what do you think about Wendell Carter's play lately? Do you have any thoughts on it?
He's good. We got rid of him. We traded Wendell Carter and Franz Wagner and another pick, right? Who I think maybe Jet Howard. I forget. We gave 2 firsts and a Wendell Carter, right? Wendell Carter's doing well for them. Lauri Markkanen's doing well for the Jazz. Chris Dunn's doing well for the Jazz. Imagine if those 3 guys. No, I mean I don't feel bad about losing them, but I feel bad about keeping everyone else and still trying to compete. And like, if you're going to compete, maybe Wendell Carter would have come in handy. Maybe Lauri would have come in handy. But yeah, it's just a depressing life. I'm happy Wendell Carter escaped the hell that is the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I would not. I wouldn't beat myself up for Lowry. because he went through a whole nother team that didn't really
Yeah.
maximize him, and then he landed in a place where he's kind of blossomed. Wendell and Franz that's tough. Just because like the second it happened was I wasn't moved by it. I don't know anybody who was. They were like, oh shit, you gave up a first for like a lateral move at center, but this guy, he's been an all-star before. He just shot 38% from three. So, hey, look who's right below him in the standings, actually. The Chicago Bulls, 2-2 in their last four, wins over Toronto and Memphis, and losses to the Lakers and the Suns. Katie made a really cool game winner over Chicago. Caruso made it very difficult. And then Kobe White has been 23-6-6 on 63% true shooting over the last 25 games. He's maintained a very high level of production. He's clearly like a step forward player this season, a diamond in the manure pile, if you will. I don't care. They need to blow it up. That's the last thing I wrote down about Chicago.
Yeah, Kobe is the only bright spot. They're winning too much right now. We might just make it. We might just pass up Orlando. Who knows? It's so depressing. We are apparently calling Detroit right now, and we are like, hey, we'll give you Zach LaVine for one of your blue chippers, and the blue chips are Cade Cunningham. Not gonna happen. Jaden Ivey. Hopefully, I would love that. I said this back in November. You should do this. Maybe you should have struck while the iron was hot. Maybe do the trade when he can't get off the bench because Monty Williams is like, I don't know. This guy looks like the devil to me. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Jalen Duren. I can't imagine they would trade Jalen Duren for LaVine. And then Asar Thompson. Maybe we could get Asar Thompson because Monty Williams has decided, he's kind of lame. Kevin Knox is way cooler. Let me play Kevin Knox over him. So that who knows? It's just a meeting of two lobotomy brained teams that we'll see what's going to come out of their clash. It's like the opposite of Conquerors hockey. What's the opposite of a conqueror?
A servant? I don't know.
It's yeah, I don't know. It's just
maybe
we come
Dunce's
away
hockey or something like that. I could
yeah.
two big cone hats on. The Bulls. I mean, yeah. If the Pistons trade, okay, obviously Cade's not happening. To me, I don't fuck with Zach LaVine, and I don't care. Like, if you're the Pistons, you've kind of gotten into some single-digit loss territory. I don't think you need, like, adding him is going to be worth moving Jaden Ivey or Thompson. If they do that, it'd be a Pistons move. But, yeah, this really is just kind of like unstoppable force meets immovable object of ineptitude because, like, that's good things can't happen to either of these teams. So we've got two polarized magnets and we're forcing them together, and somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to end up with the Killian Hayes trade package.
Oh
so
my
yeah,
God.
maybe
I saw Killian Hayes like over the last 10 games is like 30% shooting, and it's like at this point I think he may not be an NBA player. What a depressing outcome. The Pistons are toxic. Lonzo Ball was on the bench for the Bulls. No, that's the only good thing. And in LA, he came and hung out.
Hey, there we go. Well, he's probably just in. Yeah, that's so funny to imagine him like picking up his phone. Oh shit, my team's in town today. Let me go hang out with them real quick. Oh man, that sucks. I like Lonzo. I hope even if he gets into like a Markelle Fultz situation where he's not as good or whatever, we could get like that's our generation's Jason Williams, where you don't look up the numbers, you just watch the highlights, and it's fun. All right, moving from Chicago to Atlanta. Oh God, the Luka gave him 73, 0-4 in their last four. Do any of these games really matter besides the Mavericks game? Trey's only played in two of them, and he really only played well in the Mavs game. But well is in quotes there. It's not super efficient. But yeah, Luka, 73 points. They still only lost by 5. It was very funny towards the end of the game how hard they were like, Luka's not scoring to the extent where like clock's running out, 30 seconds left, and it's like close. It's like it's 4-point game. They inbound it to Luka. The whole Hawks team does not move. They're like, we're not fouling you, bro. You're not going to the line. So they just let like 4 seconds burn off before Tim Hardaway or whoever gets fouled. So, yeah. Do you have any big Hawks thoughts right now?
No, they're just in kind of a purgatory moment where we know there's going to be a shakeup coming, but we just don't know exactly what it's going to be. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Maybe I'll save this for the West, but are we sure DeJounte Murray's better than D'Angelo Russell? Are we? Are we
Oh, that's
100%
spicy.
sure?
I like that. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. D'Lo's been on a tear recently. He's been cooking. However, with my big thing right now is more so Trey, because it feels like the final backcourt spot in the East might come down to Donovan Mitchell or Trae Young. And especially since it's the coaches deciding, they're going to be like, whoa, well, Donovan Mitchell's got that team success, baby. They've been fucking cooking recently.
Wait,
And
how many guard spots are there?
So you have Damian Lillard, you have Tyrese Halliburton, you have probably Jalen Brunson, you have probably Tyrese Maxey, and then yeah, because you have to figure Philadelphia will get 2 with their record being so good. Maybe they don't. Maybe they go Mitchell and Trey. But if Trey doesn't make it back-to-back years, he's 26.5 points, 10.4 assists on 58% true shooting over 2 full seasons. That I haven't gone through the history books. That sounds like one of, if not the best 2-year stretch with no all-star selections. Like that's insane production for very little recognition from Trey.
This year, I definitely feel like he's an all-star. Like I don't know, I would have to look at Maxey's stats again. I understand why they would put him in, and man, the fans
they're not there. I think it'd
there.
be like Maxey. Off in my gut, I would say he's like 27-6, maybe like 26-6 on probably 60-ish% true shooting. Very good 3-point numbers, and then like pretty solid 2-point free throw shit. So yeah, I think it feels to me as well. Trey's been an all-star caliber guy, and just. Yeah, Atlanta, the DeJounte Murray shit hasn't worked out. They've had a lot of struggles. And so, yeah, it's also hard to win games when your team is clearly like, hey, some of you guys are getting traded in a week. Yeah. Like you're not going to be here anymore. I wouldn't want to ball out for him anyways. But
was there a year prime Houston Harden didn't make the All-Star team? I know he was left off the All-NBA team one year when he had a big year. But did he miss out on an All-Star game at one point or no?
I don't know. Maybe the first year. Now I want to look that up. Because yeah, I know he averaged like 29 and 11 and didn't make All-NBA, I believe, or something along those lines because of Steph and Harden and everybody.
Well, no, he's Harden.
Oh yeah, shit. Steph and Westbrook. That's my fault. Steph and Harden. God. Speaking of lobotomies, me and you, we're fucking morons. No, he was an all-star every single year in Houston. So yeah, okay, it's just the All-NBA teams. Yeah. Sorry, Trey. Sorry, your fucking motion, your aura has died down in recent years, but we see you. You're a state of the league all-star, baby. Woo! And that's what really matters. Nets, Brooklyn Nets. This team fucking stinks, and their future looks bad also. What do you think about the Nets?
The Nets? Well, you've heard, right?
I haven't. What have I heard?
The rumblings. You feel it, of course, right?
No. I need you to elaborate.
Ben Simmons?
Oh shit! The Thunder from Down Under.
He's ramping up. He's ramping up. He's coming back. Ben Simmons, the return may be near. Is Ben Simmons the answer for this team? Maybe.
Could you imagine? There is a timeline. There's a timeline where like 15 years from now, some dipshit kid is on Basketball Reference, and he's like, "Whoa, Ben Simmons finished 10th in MVP voting in 2024." Because he got the Brooklyn Nets into the 9 seed territory. We are not in that timeline. I think they would benefit from having Ben Simmons. I think he's capable basketball player that does things that they're unable to do right now. But simultaneously, since December 27th, they have won 2 games, which is as many as the Wizards, who they lost to during that span. And that's less games, that's less wins than the Pistons. Mikal Bridges has in that since December 27th span has been pretty mid. But in his last 4, he's been 25 points per game on great efficiency. I don't know what this team does because we've already covered it on here. They don't have their picks until 2028. But simultaneously, there's a real possibility that you probably wait too long trying to be as good as you can and you don't sell as high as you should on some of these assets, which right now, it's a role player super team. Cam Johnson would look great on a bunch of different teams. Royce O'Neal would look great on a bunch of different teams. Mikal Bridges, 5 first-round picks, 6 first-round picks. Who cares? Yeah, I don't know.
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith too. It's just there's a lot of guys that competitive teams would love to add, and you suck anyways. I feel like that is something when I talk about the Nets that my brain kind of well, they're not trading these guys because they're pretty good and they want to be good. They're not good. They're really, really bad. And if they're going to be bad, they might as well get draft picks. I don't know. That makes sense to me. It feels like all there is to say about Brooklyn. Do you have any final thoughts?
The fan base despises Jacques Vaughn. They do not like this man. I saw a picture of him in the post-game press conference smiling, and the ticker under him says allowed a 22-0 run to end the game. And they were like, what's he smiling about? And they were so mad. The chemistry is not great. They despise him. They despise Spencer. That they got to blow it up for everyone's not just basketball productivity's sake, just for everyone's mental health. Cam Thomas is having issues with the coaching. It's a tough. Maybe just trade every single asset you have, and just let Cam Thomas try and break Kobe's 81 points every single night. That might be more compelling than what we're doing right now.
I mean, there would be a fun game in there. I don't know how many there would be. I can guarantee there'd be one fun game in there. And lately, Brooklyn basketball has not been fun at all.
But Ben Simmons plus shooters could be like Giannis. Shooters?
Pretty much. Dude, I unironically when I don't remember what year it was when he was 17, 18 points per game. I was like, dude, you get this guy, you just let him drive to the fucking hoop every time. And I maintain that version of him. Maybe that would be really good with shooters.
Pre-back injury, pre-confidence issues. He dropped it. What did he do against the Jazz? He scored 50.
It was 40 something. Gobert was in perfect position every time the way that he is, and it just didn't matter because he was such an athlete. Oh my God. I don't want to talk about prime Ben Simmons. I'm going to get sad. This is stupid. All right. Even more north than Brooklyn. What's more north than Brooklyn? Toronto. Even though, wait, I think, isn't Toronto down kind of below most of the United States northern border? Probably.
Yeah, they're deceptively south. I think the Timberwolves are probably the most north, right?
All right. Thank you, producer. All right. So yeah, Toronto 0-4 in their last 4 games, lost to the Clippers, Grizzlies, Knicks, and Bulls. Who could have seen this coming? Losing 2 of your 3 best players. You get worse at basketball. You take a step backwards. At this point, I don't know. Who cares? They're tanking the season. You're getting everybody developmental minutes now. Grady Dick sightings have spiked in recent days. Have they been fun? Have they been good? One of them was the Knicks game. He hit a couple threes, and I was like, Grady Dick, what are you doing here? But other than that, he hasn't looked particularly NBA ready. It doesn't look like a knock it out of the park draft pick at this juncture. Do you have any thoughts about Toronto?
Yeah, a lot more Dick action these days. I'm pretty happy to see Dick. I think you got to just let him get these shots up because his entire value is going to come from just shots I want 20. I want 25 attempts a game from Grady Dick.
Yes.
He is not a good player right now. There's a lot of the Miami Heat. They're God, you guys took a guy who sucks dick and his name is Dick. I can't believe it. We took Jaime. But I think Grady Dick is a solid investment for the future. I think you just let him cook, let that dick loose, and you're not playing for anything. So just let Barnes and Dick develop that chemistry. Let it fly, and we'll see how it
Is
goes.
Gary Trent
They're
still
playing
on
with
the
it.
roster up there?
I think so. I think he's had a tough year.
Get him the fuck out of Toronto. That is a dude. He's good. I promise he's good. He's good, and he would be good on a competitive team. I guarantee it. He's a tough shot maker. He's a big moments guy. But I don't know. Yeah, there was a moment when they should have blown it up last year where he was like really good from three and really good on defense, and they were like, "No, we're gonna hold on to this guy. We're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna do something." And yeah, so masterclass on selling low. Shout out to Masai. Masterful gambit, sir. You knocked it out of the park. You're killing it.
At least you
Okay.
have Scotty. That's
At least
what
you have
you got.
Scotty, who I mean, he was honestly his efficiency, his 3-point shot, it's going down. Nobody say anything. It'll go back up. It'll go back up. He's still at 36% on the season. I'll push his agenda to the ends of the earth. I like him a lot. The Hornets. Speaking of like him a lot, the opposite of that. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. 1-3 in their last three. Lost to the Pistons. Lost to the Rockets. Lost to the Sixers. Beat ellipsis. The Wolves. What the? Karl Anthony Towns 62-point game. The Hornets come back from 18 down and win. Brandon Miller was a big driving force behind that, as well as a domestic abuser, Miles Bridges. So yeah, shout out to only Brandon Miller in Charlotte. I don't have a ton to say on him besides that.
Yeah, he's been great. I think in the last 4 games, he's 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists on 57, 45, 87. So Brandon Miller looking fantastic. They're taking their victory laps. They're saying Scoot is trash, and our guy did this, so we won. Just a reminder, guys, Brandon Miller is older. I think he's 21, right? So he's supposed to be better. And the whole argument was ceiling, but I think I think you definitely do feel good about Brandon Miller, like especially right now because Scoot looks rougher. But Brandon Miller is just probably going to be a good player for them. And yeah, that's a W. Rozier, you traded him. That's fine. I was shocked that Terry Rozier was there for 5 years. That seems insane to me. In my mind, he was just like on vacation for a little bit. But yeah, all of their big men are dead. Mark Williams is dead. Nick Richards is dead. James Nagy, they didn't bring him over from Spain. He has a 6-pack and he's 6'10". I would have maybe bring that guy over, but they haven't. They have no big men. So Karl Anthony Towns was the biggest guy on the court, and he just abused them. But they were able to win that. And so the Timberwolves are officially frauds, and the Hornets are real. I think we've taken the Miles Bridges situation for granted in terms of, if there were to be an NBA player who almost killed his wife, who almost strangled his wife to death, and was allowed to keep playing in the NBA, if that had to happen and we had to pick a team for him to be on, it would be the Hornets, because he's just like out of sight, out of mind. And now there's all these rumors about him being traded to like good teams, and it's like no, because I number one, I don't want to see this guy. Number two, he is a productive player, and so I don't need Stephen A. Smith and all these people who are. I don't need these people to be put in a position where they're going to praise Miles Bridges and say, well, aside from the off-court stuff, as if he didn't try and kill his wife, and they're just going to like brush it aside. And I don't want it, because they're not going to make the correct moral choice, and like they're not going to talk about him in the correct way. You should not expect them to, so I don't want to put them in that position at all. I just want Miles Bridges to rot away in obscurity.
That reminds me, I threw on a Hornets game during the player introductions. It was like the 5:30 whatever 6 p.m. game, and they were running through, and it killed me because the announcer, it wasn't like the stadium announcer. It was like the TV announcer that he was
Eric Collins.
Maybe he was just like, oh, Miles Bridges trying to keep the focus on basketball. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it's probably the best thing you can do while keeping your job, I suppose. Yeah. If he goes, I do not want to see him on the Suns, man. I don't want to watch when you see him.
What would they give up for him? They have nothing.
Maybe Charlotte really wants that Grayson Allen. Maybe they'll get that. Maybe they want Bol. Maybe Bol will really thrive in Charlotte. Him and LaMelo can just wear crazy shit off the court all the time.
The Miles Bridges trade would be crazy, or trading for Grayson Allen would be especially crazy because it's like you traded the most violent man in the NBA for maybe the second most violent man in the NBA.
Hey, dude, it's fucked up because Grayson Allen, if he didn't knock Alex Caruso out of the sky, he would have a chance to do the whole JJ Redick arc over again. Be like the worst person on the planet at Duke while they're a very good basketball team. Come into the NBA, everyone's like, fuck this guy, and then just be like quietly really productive until you're on your last legs, and then everyone's like, old man Grayson Allen sticking around. He's kind of shifty on the ball, This is fun. He should start a podcast. But I don't know. That Caruso move, that's going to be like a South Park 21 and a half years or however long it takes for something to become funny. Until that ages out, he's going to be an evil bad guy in the eyes of fans. But probably
shout out.
Right.
Oh,
what?
Wait,
you
continue?
Go. You
I was
go.
just going to say, shout out Grayson Allen. He keeps his tantrums on the court. He has not almost killed a woman off the court.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say he's evil, but probably not to the same extent that Miles Bridges is. So, yeah, shout out Grayson Allen. And shout out to all of our sponsors. Shout out to Fanspo. I know you guys want to get on here, and I know this is the perfect spot to drop you guys. So,
dude, I turned on the Stay Hot podcast. Not only do they have a Little Caesars sponsorship, I think they had a Steph Curry shoes sponsorship.
They have an Under Armour deal now. What the fuck, Steph?
Heck?
Dude, come on. Dude. What? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Steph, if you're listening to this, I'll argue against any housing projects you want, man. Just let me get the shoe deal, please.
You lost us the deal.
No, shit. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. With our brand of it's gonna be like a Blue Chew sponsorship or something.
What is Blue Chew? Is that like CBD or something?
No. It's like off-brand Viagra and stuff. It's like yeah. But I hear it.
Could we get a Marianne Williamson presidential campaign ad here? What do we think?
I don't know. I don't know what the pod.
She's got nowhere else to go. Is she still running? Oh wait, no one's running for the Democrats. Never mind. Can we? Yeah. Let's see. Who's? Is anyone left? Well, Vivek dropped out. Is anyone left for the Conservatives? Is there any delusional? Or who's like the libertarian guy running?
Do you know any libertarian presidential candidates off the top of your head?
There used to be Gary Johnson.
Ah, damn it. Oh, hold on. All right, we're looking it up. In the meantime, hey, Washington, our nation's capital. This is a smooth transition. You know who should sponsor us is Marvin Bagley, because I'm about to plug the shit out of this motherfucker. The Wizards are 0-4 in their last 4 games, but Marvin Bagley has averaged nearly 17 points and 10 rebounds on 60% from the field in 5 games for the Wizards. Don't ask me about the free throw percentage. He's bad at defense, but he's productive and he's fun. And I will say, the motor and like the second, third jumps on rebounds that everyone's like, this guy's gonna take the league by storm. That's been there in Washington. Like he's seemed like he wanted to work hard, and so. Oh damn! The libertarian candidate was RFK. That would have been a great get. Damn.
We can let him on. Let him show his 6-pack, and he'll be like, guys, don't listen to the vaccine. We'll say for the right amount of money. We'll say okay. For the
right amount of money. We are the free market. We're the free market personified, RFK. So hit us up. Even though you dropped out, I don't care. We'll just hang out with you.
But your grandpa was a loser. Lift the embargo.
Your grandpa was a loser.
Was that
Hell
his
yeah.
grandpa? I don't even know.
I don't know. You could, and the thing about me is, you can give yourself a famous name. I'll just assume you're related. I don't do any fact checking. Doesn't matter to me at all.
I thought Kenneth Lofton Jr. I thought his dad was the baseball player Kenny Lofton for like many years, but it turns out unrelated.
Oh man. Steph Curry thought his dad was Del Curry. Turns out related for real. Actually, who could have seen that coming? All right. Do you have any big thoughts about the Wizards? Shout out to Marvin Bagley, but other than that, it's not. Oh, I do. Here, I'll let you talk for a sec, but I just remembered something.
Worst timing in history for Marvin Bagley. What draft? He's 2018. Yeah, he's 2018 draft. So Marvin Bagley, he gets all this hype as having like the best second jump ever. People are freaking out about Marvin Bagley's second jump. They're like, this is going to do major damage. The next year, Zion comes and is better at it. So immediately everyone has forgotten Marvin Bagley's second jump, and they're both Duke guys. So man, bad timing for Marvin. Maybe the people of DC will appreciate that second jump.
Maybe. The one thing I remembered was, it's crazy. There was a Wizards beat writer, and he got his press pass revoked because there was a new billboard outside the arena with players on it, and he speculated on Twitter which players were eligible for trades based on which players were put onto the new billboard.
That is great.
They revoked his press pass for that. They're trying to silence the masses. I don't fuck with that. That made me unironically kind of upset. I was like, that's like, of all the stupid shit I've seen reporters say online and on TV, that's what we're gonna get people in trouble for. So yeah, Monumental Sports, I will work for you if you want, but I don't agree with that decision. And then the last guys, the Detroit Pistons. Games have been closer and more competitive recently. 1-3 in their last 4. That's one win. So what do you think about Detroit?
I think they need Zach LaVine to really put things over the edge.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's probably best if a season like this had to happen to them, it's best that it happened now, because the Lions might be going to the Super Bowl. So I think they probably don't care that much, because they're like, yes, we are maybe going to the Super Bowl. This is amazing.
And I mean, I don't know. I say this as somebody who's not a fan of the Pistons, but to be bad versus to be historically bad, if you got to like pick,
yeah,
you might as the streak was entertaining. There was like added stakes, I suppose. And for them versus like the Spurs, I guess the Spurs have Wemby. I don't want to name drop the Wizards as being bad. The Hornets, yeah, I don't know, just like some of these really bad teams that aren't historically bad. It's like, dude, that's not as much fun as a 28 game loss streak. The vibes when they were given the Celtics when they had them on the ropes in that one game, that was exciting. And so,
out of this world.
Yeah. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out Kofi. Shout out Little Caesars. That's the whole conference. Do you want to do your game, or do you want to do awards?
Oh, all right. We'll do my game.
All right, let's get it.
All right, so this game is called Can This Player Drink? You have to guess. Is this player legally allowed to drink yet? Because if they're not, then they probably haven't. Jalen Duren. Can he come home after a tough loss and say, "Let me crack open a Heineken"?
I didn't have him pegged as a Heineken guy, but I'm gonna say no. I think he's 20.
You're correct. Jalen Duren, he can't drink. He has more muscles than anybody alive, but he cannot drink. He's the grownest man ever. He cannot drink. Jalen Green, can Jalen Green drink?
Oh, that's tougher because he was young, but it was a while ago. I'm gonna say yes. Let's say yeah.
Yes, Jalen Green is 21. He can drink.
How many are these of there? Because I want to know.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of these bad
All right.
boys.
If I don't get at least 6 of these right, I'm on fraud watch. I feel fairly
Okay.
confident about this.
All right. Max Christie. Can Max Christie, can he parlay his Lakers fame into getting into parties? Or is he like, God, man, I'm not there yet?
Ooh. Max Christie. I'm gonna say yes, because I think the guy I'm thinking of is Hood Schifino, who's younger. So I'll say yeah, Max Christie can.
Max Christie cannot drink yet. He's
Oh,
20 years old. I think he'll be able to drink in February.
oh man. All right. 2-1. 2-1. Here we go.
Jalen Williams from OKC, he's lighting up the court. Is he legally allowed to light up the 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 one tavern in Oklahoma City that I'm get the saloon that they have there?
Oh man, the old watering hole. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I almost asked you how many 22-year-olds would you rather have than J Dub in the West on the Patreon. If
Oh.
you guys want to find that out, maybe I'll actually do it now. So go check out the Patreon. Jalen Williams can drink.
Jalen Williams can drink. He's a 22-year-old man. Alperen Şengün. The laws in Turkey are different, but when he comes over here, is he allowed to drink? He's still growing.
This is tough. Is he 21? 21, can you do something for me? I'm gonna say no.
Şengün is 21. He can have a nice
Oh,
cocktail.
I'm pissed. I went against my gut there. That sucks. But I got to deal with my decisions.
Victor Wembanyama. Las Vegas is dystopia. Is he allowed to drink at the dystopia?
Hell no. Victor Wembanyama. No, he can't. He's a little baby.
He cannot. He's 20. Chet Holmgren. Can he join Jalen Williams at the saloon?
Yes, him because he's a fraud rookie. He's fake. He's a sophomore. He was working out his one functioning leg for his entire year off, so he doesn't count. Yes, he's 21 years old.
All right, that's correct. And then the final one, can your own Denver's own Peyton Watson, can Peyton Watson drink?
Absolutely not. He looks 16 years old. I would be shocked if he's 21.
He is 21. He
can
hit up the horse racing club. Woo!
Damn.
So how many did you get?
I got 5. I missed
Oh,
Şengün, Peyton Watson, and Christie. So I'm on fraud watch. No two ways about that. It's tragic. It's tragic. Oh well. Peyton Watson, if you're listening, you're still good. You're good at basketball. I'll guess you up there. But in terms of looking old, you don't do it. All right. Awards.
Julian Strother, 21.
Huh. Okay. Damn. 21-year-olds look so young these days. Maybe I'm just getting older. Jeremy Lin Player of the Week. I got Embiid again for the East. Kind of.
Wait, we got to remind people the Jeremy Lin Insanity Player of the Week is the player who went the most linsane over the course of the week.
Okay. Well, I like that. I feel like 70 is pretty linsane.
Wait, who did you say?
I said Embiid. If you score 70, I'll probably give you this award. That's just a precedent I'm setting for all of the NBA players listening to this. If you want to win this award, lock it up, 70 points. You're good to go. Over the course of the week, Embiid was 43 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists on 55, 44, 90 shooting splits for 65% true shooting. We've already talked about him. Just the most overwhelming scorer in the game. The jump shooting, which I talked about earlier, it kind of reminds me of Zion like jumping or Victor Wembanyama just walking around where you're like, why can he do that? That looks wrong. That looks like a glitch. So shout out to Joel Embiid. That's my guy. Who do you got?
Yeah, I agree. If you score 70 points in a game, then you're the Jeremy Lin Insanity Player of the Week.
Damn, we're kind of spoiling.
The only thing I disagree is that it's Joel Embiid. It's not Joel Embiid. It's Luka Doncic. Woo! Because he also scored. What did he score? 73.
Yeah, he scored 73.
Over his last 3 games, he's 47, 12, and 10 on 57, 50, and 84. So Luka Doncic there's a lot of discourse. People are like, wait, is he bad on Twitter? His on-off numbers are bad. Well, I think he's good.
All right, to keep it a bean, to keep it a $1.50 with you, I limited myself to Eastern players for these awards. I have a West version
Oh,
of these awards where I have Luca. So let's just run through them. If you have West guys, I don't care.
all of my guys are West. I didn't
Well,
think
that's the
about
thing.
this.
Is like running through the East. I was like, there's no clutch shit happened in the East this week either. All right. So my Ferris Bueller's week off. Let me compare my two, and I'll pick the worst one. For the West, I had Clay. And for the East, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna go. I had Emmanuel quickly for Ferris Bueller's week off. Who do you got?
Oh, really? Did he? I was having trouble. I was really searching for somebody, because people were showing up this week. Mine was DeAndre Ayton because he had 2 games under 10 points. He had a game where he took 15 shots and only scored 12. A lot of bad Ayton discourse out there. The Suns fans are like, I'm ecstatic where we have Nurkic over him. He's like, I'm a max player, whatever. It's not the best week for Aiden,
I
and he
mean,
couldn't go to that game also because there was ice.
that's what I was gonna say. Is peak NBA discourse is people being like, this lazy fucking moron won't get out there, and there's like 4 inches of ice on the ground in Portland, and they're like, people are like, yeah, this guy just doesn't want it bad enough. Gilbert Arenas is telling him to get out there with the shovel. So yeah, shout out to Aiton, not great. Emmanuel quickly this week was 11 points and 8 assists. 8 assists per game is not too
Okay.
bad. 48% true shooting was really
Oh,
gnarly. And they are 0-4 this week. And so his first 9 games in Toronto were really solid. That's why, like, I know he can do better than this as a shot creator and a scorer. And if he could take this playmaking and kind of combine it with what he did in that first run in Toronto, then I think that's a very promising player. That's probably the guy that the Raptors are looking to uncover in this quickly project. So, yeah, you'd like to see him play better, but like we already said with the Raptors, doesn't fucking matter. They're not playing for anything, so who cares? They lost. Forks. Who's your Forks comeback? Cousin Richie Forks comeback player of the week.
Harrison Barnes, the Jack the Kings fan, Aaron Schroeder, they came on this podcast. They slandered him. They told us we hate this guy. He does nothing. I would trade him for anything. He's a schmuck. He's bamboozled us. He's led us astray. He's nothing. He's a nobody. Well, guess what? He comes back, drops like 32 points, 39 points back-to-back games. Harrison Barnes is back.
Yeah. That's hilarious that he did it to the Warriors too. And like a 1 point win for the Kings, their first win in Golden State in like 5 years or something. It was a long time. So shout out to Harrison Barnes. He's been cooking. Jack the Kings fan, Aaron Schroeder. You guys are both kind of idiots right now. You're kind of stupid. Maybe you don't know ball, something like that. My comeback player of the week for the East, it was Brandon Miller, but I like the West pick more. I have Jonathan Kuminga. Last 4 games, he's 26-6, 26 points and 6 rebounds on 64, 41, 83 splits, 70% true shooting. All the animosity. Sometimes you just got to publicly yell at your coach, and then your coach is like, "Oh shit, you're actually kind of good. I'll play you more." And
sometimes you got to tell a reporter, I don't like this guy. Tell people I said I don't like this guy.
You know how your job is to tell everyone the things that I say? Well, right now I am saying that this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. And to be honest, I'm shocked he's still employed. The big game, Atlanta, he scored the most points, I believe, or maybe it's made the most field goals in Warriors history without a miss. He went for 25 on 11 of 11 shooting. And he's just been like really solid. I didn't realize for like 20-ish straight games at this point, he's been like 17 points per game on really solid efficiency. So in what has been a gloomy, stupid, bad Warriors season, even in lieu of his comments against Steve Kerr, he has been a bright spot in this year. So yeah, shout out to Kuminga, the bucket, as they call him. I'm going to censor myself there because that's a little gross. But all right. Joe Johnson, ISO Joe, clutch player of the week. Who do you got?
Kevin Durant, I think. Who did anyone else make game winners this week? He was the only one like I
No, he
remember.
was the big game winner guy, but I zagged. So go on your Kevin Durant thing, and I'll tell you mine.
He just had the sick double clutch in Alex Caruso's face, game winner. So I was like, that's clutch. That's epic.
And I'm pretty sure because I saw it was like 15 seconds left. He buried one, and then I switched back to a game that I cared more about. And then apparently like that was not the double clutch, so he hit a huge one that if they had gotten a stop on the other end would have won them the game, but they let Chicago score, and then he came down and did it again. And so that's sick as hell. Kevin Durant, you know, you're in goat talks in my eyes, definitely. Don't search your name on my Twitter, please. Joe, mine. I had Luca actually. For the West at least. For the East, it was like Jalen Brunson because he had 20 points in the fourth against the Wizards, like at the start of last week. But Luca, for fending off the Mavs or the Hawks triple teams, just in terms of like they could have lost that game, a la Karl Anthony Towns, a la Devin Booker, but he played very, very well and made all of the right decisions, and he made the
Yeah,
wrong
he was
decisions at the
picking them
right
apart.
times. Like, because it's like they committed so hard to not letting him score, and there was 2 or 3 straight possessions where he should have had a 70-point triple-double because he somehow split a triple team, drives, gets the rim protector up in the air, dump off to Grant Williams or whoever, and they just brick the layup, and it's like now it's a 4-point game because these motherfuckers can't score, and so he's got to come down and score it himself. And so yeah, just in terms of like a very steady fourth quarter facing probably the most difficult coverage you can. Luka was really, really good for the Mavs in that game. They're 1-3 this week. I don't care. That's how good he's been. So yeah, shout out to Luka.
Yeah, he's him and Jokic. It's like you sometimes when you get into that mode where you're like, all right, we got to stop him from scoring. Let's just send everybody at him. That can almost be even more damaging because it's like this is his environment. He's always going to make the right decision. He's going to go nuts. Like Luka made obscene passes yesterday where just manipulating everyone with his eyes, throwing to guys who you think are guarded. It was just a masterclass. Shout out Luka.
It is funny. Luka and Jokic too, when he gets in like aggressive mode, and Embiid, and then like a couple other hot hand guys. It's just this caliber of offensive player that combined with the way the game is officiated and the rules we have in place, like Luka's so good that he makes people think that the Hawks aren't trying to defend him. Like there's just this entire narrative now around like, holy shit, nobody wants to play defense anymore. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. And then like you check the highlight reels and it's like, oh, 35-foot step back, 30-foot step back, behind the backboard fade away over the glass. It's just yeah, I don't know. They have almost mastered offense to an extent that there's not much a defense can do besides send 3 guys over there and leave somebody open. It's frustrating. I get why people are a little bit mad at the offensive explosion. Me personally, stay mad, dorks. I've watched plenty of mid-2000s film. It's fun in the finals. It's fun. It's fun when they're big games.
It's not even fun in the finals.
I can guarantee you, like you come home, you're just tired. You throw on the NBA or whatever after like a long, hard, frustrating day at the factory, and then you turn it on. It's like I don't know, Spurs Jazz in 2006, just like. It's 68-79 heading into like the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. That could honestly be like a high scoring game, and it's just like Jesus, this is nasty. I don't want to watch this on a random day. So yeah, I like offense. It's fun, but maybe bring back a little hand checking. Maybe let guys contest a little vertically at the rim. I don't know. I could see some arguments for shit like that.
I was on the anniversary of Kobe's 81-point game. I was reading an article about it, and they were talking about like how it's crazy that he scored 81 because that's like this is an article from when it happened. They're like a lot of teams don't even score 81 right now. this team, like teams have scored under 81 points 100 times so far this season, or
Oh
something like
my
that.
God.
And one of the examples they use is the Spurs Pistons Christmas Day game. I forget the score. One of them had 68 points, and that's the Christmas Day game. I'm like, oh my God, that's not a present. That's torture.
Oh man, yeah. I looked it up just for fun on the anniversary. I was like, oh shit. Teams averaged across the league 97 points per game when Kobe scored 81. So that's crazy. And then I saw, I don't know, it was funny. Oh shit, they're after me. The sirens, they're here. RFK sent the
Oh,
oppas.
is he coming?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, just the fact that David Robinson blatantly stat padded for 70 to decide the scoring title in 1996 or whenever that was. I think that's very funny. That's like one of the 10 70-point games in history now. It's just like, oh yeah, just shoot as much as you want. We're up 30. This doesn't matter, but it will
how
put you
many
in the
shots
history
did he
books.
take that game? Do you know off the top?
41. He went 26 of
Okay,
41. Damn.
that's not terrible. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. Well, if this guy's just gonna park outside my window with sirens on, I guess that's probably a sign from God that we should wrap this episode up. Do you want to plug Hot Tunes TV China NBA?
Hot Tunes TV China NBA on YouTube. Go and check it out. I just posted an hour-long Paulo Banchero video. I am trying to post 5 days a week. I think I only did 3, but we'll see next week. Stay tuned. Oh,
Stay tuned. 5 days a week's fucking crazy. Shout out to you.
I gotta get those watch hours up.
Yeah, no, I respect. Hopefully, I got to check our analytics here. Maybe we could get some ads on the channel. Maybe we could get some RPMs or something. I don't know how to do that for Spotify. I'm so out of my depth with all this technology, but we'll figure it out. Speaking of technology, patreon.com/state of the league. If you go there, you'll be able to listen to us talk about the Western Conference, which this was just the bullshit. This was the filler episode. If you want the real cream of the crop, if you want a more fun game, if you want more intensive analysis, damn, I can't even talk right now. Shut up. Yeah, go check out patreon.com/state of the league. If you want to follow me, Jack, aka Joestar, Joestar on pretty much every single platform you can imagine. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Spotify. I don't know. I got to sign up for a new one every week, and then I can just plug a different.
CartoonNetwork.com.
CartoonNetwork.com. I'm playing the Ben 10 side scroller game if it's still online.
Epic.
The Flash game. That was a fun one. Shout out Accelerate. Shout out Ripjaw. Shout out everybody. Thank you all for listening.
Not Ghost Freak. Not Ghost.
No, not. We all remember the episode. He was sentient inside the Omnitrix. That's fucking scary, bro. We don't need that here at the State of the League. We're all about positivity. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode.